Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and I'm coming to you today with this week's Texas Gun Vault question of the week, and it deals with firearms finishes and colors, what you prefer and why. And by the way, this might be one of the last videos for a while where you see me inside here in my office versus being in the garage. The temperatures here after the big Texas snowstorm are finally starting to warm up. The garage is no longer 4 degrees, so I should be able to start filming out in my usual kind of studio out there, so you guys will start to see some more familiar backgrounds. But anyway, let's get on to the poll question of the week. And I had asked, what color or finish do you like or prefer on your guns and why? As I have expanded my collection, I have enjoyed getting into guns in various colors and finishes. Do you even care about a gun's color or finish? And with all the respondents, I think it was 876, black came in first, which I kind of expected. Once you go black, you never go back, with 51%. Flat dark earth, is the gun dirty or just dirt colored? 26%. Olive drab, green is the color of money, jealousy, and cool guns? 12%. Stainless / nickel, shiny like Jason's bald head, and something else, pink, purple, Tiffany blue, or robin's egg? 4%. I gotta say, I was really kind of surprised. I knew black was gonna win. It was just obvious because most firearms are in black. Everyone knows about the black rifle. But it only got 51%. That's just a little bit over, I guess, kind of the halfway point. I was really kind of surprised by that. I was kind of expecting to be more in like 60 or 70%. But yeah, black is the kind of the go-to color. When it comes to me and a firearm, when it comes to choosing the finish or the color, there's a couple of factors that play into it. Number one is, does the color match the gun well? I kind of look at it like classic cars. If you go back to like the old Mopars, the Dodges of like the late 60s and early 70s, there were two colors that look absolutely horrible on every other car except the late 60s Dodges like the Barracudas, and that would be Sublime and Plum Crazy. It's a kind of very bright purple and a very bright green. It looks terrible on anything else, but on those cars they look great. And sometimes a certain color just looks really good on a certain gun. The other factors to take into consideration are ease of cleaning. Does it hide dirt well? Well, black, of course, is going to hide a lot of the carbon buildup. So if you're not really an OCD gun cleaning person, you might have a little bit of buildup in there. You're not even going to see it. It doesn't affect the function of the firearm, but the gun still looks clean. Or if you go with stainless steel, especially, of course, that is resistant to corrosion. That is also really easy to clean up. But I brought out my Walther PPQ here. When I get this in the focus here, just as an example of one of the black guns I own. Now, of course, I own many guns that are finished in some type of black finish, whether it be an anodization, a nitride finish, tenifer, just black polymer, you name it. It is easy to hide blemishes in the finish. That's one of the advantages to this. So if you ever get a gun scratched or scuffed, usually depending on what the material is underneath, you have things like cold bluing, you have aluminum black, which is like a chemical that kind of darkens aluminum to match anodization if you scratch the side of an AR receiver. If it's a painted finish, you can kind of reapply a paint or kind of touch up that finish. Really easy if that's something that you care about. As I said, it's just the classic color. It's probably the most durable and hides most of the scuff marks. My personal favorite when it comes to just general colors is going to be the flat dark earth. Now, I don't participate in these polls because I don't want to skew the results, and I don't respond to the comments because if I respond to the comments, it puts them as higher rated. I want you guys to vote on the best comments every week. But I would have talked a lot about flat dark earth, which is what you see here. Of course, it's kind of a brown. At first, when guns started coming out in these colors, I thought they were actually kind of ugly. I was like, ugh, who would want that? But I think it's kind of grown on me. I think from a camouflage standpoint, I think it works really well. I can see why militaries around the world are wanting a flat dark earth color and a non-reflective coating. It just matches the environment a little bit better than your standard black. I think, honestly, while it doesn't hide scuff marks, the finishes typically in flat dark earth are not as durable. They, especially on like, I'm trying to think of the M17, the M18, those finishes can kind of scuff on those SIGs a little bit easier. I think it's just a more attractive color. And I just think it's kind of the wave of the future. Now, I don't really have many guns in olive drab. I do have one AR-15 9mm build that SBR that I built, and it's way in the back of the safe. But the only other thing I really have in olive drab is this M9 bayonet here. when I was really starting to get into to other colors besides black, I liked olive drab because my favorite color is green. And of course you have the kind of the famous like army green colors. And I was like, you know, this is really going to take off. And it really didn't. It kind of, to my surprise, the flat dark earth became the more popular of the colors. And I don't know, it could have gone either way. It's kind of like the great M-Lock versus Keymod debate at the time. Olive drab just didn't take off, but it still is, I think, a very cool color, especially if you're kind of going for that army green look. It just depends on the build and what you're going for, especially if you're going to be doing like an AR-15. It's a nice color, but you don't see many guns in that color. So some olive drab guns are actually very valuable, like any type of HK framed gun that's in factory olive drab. They're actually kind of rare, and the price of those only go up, up, and up. Now, a finish that I wish they made more guns in personally is stainless steel. Absolutely love stainless steel. It is so easy to clean. It is easy to take off scuff marks. It doesn't really scratch that easy, but you can usually get off any type of scratch with a very high grit like steel wool. But it cleans up easy. It looks great. It's just a fantastic material. And for some reason, besides outside of revolvers and a few semi-autos, stainless steel really has not become as big as I kind of thought it would. I know it's kind of a big material, especially starting in the 1980s. I believe a company called Acadia Machine and Tool were the first company to make 1911s out of stainless steel. But of course we have a lot of revolvers today. It's a very durable, high impact resistant metal. The metallurgy has come a long way on those. It's a very, very strong material. I think it's very attractive, but it is very reflective. And sometimes if you want to do concealed carry, I can understand why militaries won't use it because of that reflective coating, but it is very, very durable. And as for the other option I put on this nickel, I'm not a big nickel fan, to be honest with you, because I've heard that different solvents when you're cleaning your gun can actually ruin a nickel finish. I don't own any nickel finished firearms. And finally, on this list here, of course, I got to bring one out, and it's my wife's gun. This is my wife's Glock 19, Cerakoted in pink, of course. She loves pink. And I know I was reading through some of the comments that might not have been the top rated ones, but I always read every single one. They were talking about how this is the worst color to go in. It's just ugly, blah, blah, blah. I gotta say, my wife loves pink. And if I can Cerakote a gun for her and it means she enjoys shooting, she likes gun collecting, she likes going to the range with me, I don't care what color the gun is. As long as she's going with me, I think that's awesome. But I also think that when you are building a gun or own a gun, you need to make it personalized to you. If you don't care about its value in the future, maybe this would not be the gun for somebody else on the secondary market, but for my wife, it is perfect. So if you want to modify your gun's color, get it Cerakoted, get it refinished, that's perfectly fine, or buy a gun in a particular odd color. If it's yours, it's yours. Go enjoy it. Do with it what you want. It's your property. If it makes you enjoy the gun more, go out and shoot and train and become a better marksman and to support the Second Amendment, I don't care what color gun you have. Well, let's get on to the best and top rated comments of the week. Our top rated comment comes from, gotta find it here, CH, who says, "Black guns matter." Short and to the point, but he's absolutely right. There's something about a gun's color that can be political. It's funny because we've all seen the shirts where it talks about the AR-15 and it goes, it's because I'm black, isn't it? Because the AR-15 typically is a black rifle. The anti-gunners hate it, so it's kind of become this political statement. So if you're gonna have an AR-15, you want to be the black rifle. You don't want it to be a flat dark earth or whatever. I can totally get that, but I definitely agree with them because that sentiment there politically is a complete support of the Second Amendment. Next comment comes Ant D. Canader. It says, "Scary black rifles to piss off politicians and snowflakes." Once again, another political thing. So it's coming right from the perspective of we want to make sure that the anti-gunners who hate these guns have to see them more often in the color that they hate. Why? I don't know. Why black's that color? Who knows? It's just the scary black rifle to them. All right, the next comment comes from Michael Fonterra, who says, "I like my revolvers in stainless and my semi-autos in black." So there you go, going back to function. I kind of agree with him on that. I love stainless steel revolvers. They're really, really easy to clean, and I think they just look really classy. It's just the color that I think revolvers kind of should be. I like those a lot. Our next comment is Litzine Zoots, who says a color scheme that allows the weapon to blend in with my usual clothing is preferable if the weapon is a rifle because it is less threatening. Black is best when being scary is desirable, which is not almost never for everyday open carry. My EDC is black because it is normally concealed, but when I want to be scary, if I ever need to actually draw it. So once again, we're kind of going, the color seems to be a thing when it comes from a, I guess, an aesthetic standpoint. People look at a black gun as being a little bit more dangerous than maybe a flat dark earth gun. I can totally get that. But I also understand wanting to blend in with the type of clothing you have. So, you know, if you're gonna wear a lot of earth tones, maybe a flat dark earth gun would be the way to go. And I believe, finally, our last comment is from Razor JB, who says, black for me, not a big deal, but the cool factor for me is not trying to be cool. I had to paint guns for the job for years. Paint guns for the job for years. For work, not for looking or being cool. Just not a thing, and sometimes, in my opinion, takes away from the reviewer in what the intentions and credibility really are. So once again, another vote for black, and that's it. So I think I also want to give an honorable mention to Diesel TV, who says black is beautiful. Man, in the comment section, everyone seems to love black guns. Nothing wrong with that. I love them too. But in the voting, looks like a lot of people, 49% voted for something else. But there you go. Personally, as you can see from my collection, I like having a whole variety. Variety is the spice of life. So there you go. So if you have a gun collection, I like to get all the different colors. Gotta collect them all, right? So there you go. So that is this week's Texas Gun Vault question of the week. Very cool. I'm able to dip my toe in the pool and kind of get your reactions on different topics in the gun culture and community. So my next poll will come out as soon as this video publishes. Please go to my channel page and go over to the community tab. Click that and the poll question will be over there. I will also link to it in the description below. So there you go. So this has been, once again, a really cool kind of experiment. I love taking your guys' pulse on different issues in the firearms world, whether it be political or, I guess it's like this week, gun colors or whatever. So I'm looking forward to hearing the results next week and coming to you and reading all of your comments. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for watching.